yes, 2 minutes behind. Jojalapa, good morning. Likewise, good afternoon and good evening, wherever you are. Please accept our greetings. I am Pramesh Shrestha. On behalf of all Newah Organization USA chapter, I would like to invite all of you who are in the Zoom with us and everybody who are in the Facebook Live. So I'm really humbled that yes, with all the audiences and the curiosity of the people that they have been sending us and they have been guiding us, what would they like to, yes, to take part in. So these, so as we go along that, yes, we have been enlightened with so many topics. So today we have Daya Shakya as our presenter, and he will be presenting on Itumbaha, and Itumbaha, which is really its significance that he will be presenting today. And just to, yes, giving the short bio of Daya Shakya, and he is a person with multiple hats. He has so many affiliations, but today, yes, I would like to, yes, introduce him as a linguist and a writer. And he is the author of the books and as well as so many multiple articles in various magazines. And he has been the editor for so many different kind of magazines. And likewise, yes, he has been really active from last 40 years in the Newah, for the Newah and the Newah people. So in other words, that he's a Newah activist and he is a patron for the Old Newah organization, for the international body, whereas he's an advisor for the Old Newah organization USA chapter. And as well, he has been affiliated with NRN. He is the chapter and the founding member of NRN, Oregon chapter. Likewise, he has been instructor in the different languages for Nepali, Nepal Bhasa, as well as for Sanskrit too. He is affiliated with Mount Hood Community College, Portland Community College, Bodhi Free Language Center, Center for Nepalese Language and Culture Center, and he is a founder and director there, whereas he is also the past president of Using Kathmandu Sister City Foundation. Likewise, he is associated or affiliated in so many organizations in the United States as well as in Nepal. So I would like to, yes, warmly welcome Daya Shakya, our presenter, and the floor is yours. So as per our format, that once Daya Shakya concludes his presentation, then we'll open for the Q&A session. The people who are here with us in the Zoom, they can just ask directly, whereas the people who are in the Facebook, they can just put it in the Facebook comment box, where yes, I will try to moderate it. And I have, as usual, our Prozul Gurju also, and who is my colleague in the Old Newah Organization USA chapter, and he is the division director for Heritage Division. So let me welcome Daya Shakya. So Dayazu, this is, the floor is yours. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Pramesh. Definitely, it is my pleasure to be present in front of you and then do the presentation on one of the very prominent traditional Newah monasteries, which we known as Itumbaha. So last time in March, our presenter was Dr. Balgobas Shrestha, and he was talking about Saku. So I was listening to his talk, and then I had some idea that, wait a minute, maybe I should do the presentation for Itumbaha, because we believe we have no proof that we belong to Saku also, but we believe that we came from Sanko to Itumbaha. So there is a place in Itumbaha, we always do the annual lineage ceremony that is called Degu Puja. So when we go inside the Degu Dyaha, and we always remember that this Degu Dyaha came from Sanko. So it struck me that, if we are from Sanko, definitely we were probably before the Jaisthi Mullah, and we were supposed to be, our ancestors supposed to be staying in a monastery and do the chanting and do the pujas. But since the Jaisthi Mullah kind of made a new rule that the Sakya and Bajrachara people just staying in a monastery and reading the text and do the pujas and everything, that doesn't help the economy of the country. So then the king also given a chance to form a family and then work on the professional way. So that's why the economy can be developed. So from that perspective, probably we became the layman Buddhist people, just being a monk for only once in a life for 4 days, and that is we call the Chura Karma, the ceremony for becoming a monk, or maybe in Newah language we call it Bodhisattva. From that time, so I don't know. I remember my generation, my father and my grandfather. I know only three generations: myself, my father, and my grandfather. And I barely remember my grandfather. So how many generations were already passed since one of us, one of our ancestors, moved down from Sanko to Itumbaha? So at the time, it's a matter of matter of study for me to figure out how many generations we have already spent from Sanko to Itumba, and then now below me I have my son and also my grandchildren. So that means 5 generations is already alive right now. And before me, how many generations were already completed? So this is a matter of for me a very interest. So since Balgopal mentioned that Sanko, because we also have the lineage deity in Sanko Vajrayogini, so that also give me some interest that how to figure out some of the ideas. So from that angle, I kind of proposed to Prozol that can I do my presentation about Itumba next time? So he said yes. So I was kind of encouraged to do it. But just a week ago, when he started sending out the announcement, and then I started digging out all the information, whatever I could come out. So I came up with lots of information, but this 1 hour time is not enough to do the whole presentation whatever I found. So I would like to go only with the very precisely only 1 hour and maybe a little short one. So let me share the screen what I have. So I kind of gave the topic for today is Itumbaha, a live heritage of Newah Buddhist of Nepal Mandala. So when we say Nepal Mandala, definitely, it's not the Nepal mandala of the current Nepal extended from Mechi to Mahankali and then from Roswa to Janakpur. So that's not the Nepal mandala we're talking about. The current Nepal mandala we call the province number 3. So province number 3 combinedly there are 12 districts. So it used to be the area of the Nepal mandala at the time. So now we are just focusing on Nepal mandala area. So let me do the screen sharing. Uh, Actually, I came from backward. I should have done the first one. So I was going through each slide, but forgot to put it back in front. So the Itumbaha by itself, when we know the name Itumbaha, the word Itumbaha itself is one of the unique, and in some historical facts, what I found is a Yatumbaha. Yatung is the word. So I don't know whether this Yatung is like a southern or maybe it's not actually clear for me from the internet. But what I understood from the people who talk about Itumba is E and then Tung. So E, Chu, and Tung. There are three E, Chu, and Tung. They are 3-syllable word. that E2 is like a clear, clear like a not like a transparent clear, but when the water falls down, so it has a white color, right? So all the waterfalls, when it come down from up to down, so it shows the color of whiteness or maybe a white color. So there's a well in Itumbaha area, and the water from that Itumbaha well is like a white milky color water just from the well. So from that time, Itung as a well, and then E as a white, and then the area covered by the Itung is a white well area. So maybe at the time the the water from the ground when we dig out from up, so probably the most like a milky kind of a water. So maybe it's especially in it's called Jala. So Jala is as holy water. So the holy water is always milk, mixed with the like a milk, and so it's a milky water. So Itumbaha is a place where we call the white water, milky water drain or milky water well. So from that time, so it can be Itumbaha. But we're talking about Nepal, and then when we concentrate on the Nepal by itself, that's the current one. So definitely this is the Nepal Mandala at the time. So it's a Kathmandu Valley right now. So this Kathmandu Valley is extended to almost like 12 different districts, and going from the north to Oroswa and down to near the Janakpur and west to Sindhu Palchok and all this so area covered by the Nepal Mandal at the time is based on 12 different districts in the current Nepal district. So first thing is, when Mary Strasser she was studying in Kathmandu Valley, and she came up with this, the word Nepal Mandala. She also used that word. It was very appropriate for at the time to think about it. So I have consulted a few of the slides from this the book. I also, learned a lot of things. What I did not know before about the Nepal Mandala, but my topic today is about the Itumbaha only. So I will focus on only about the Itumbaha. So when we talk about Itumba, definitely the dark line going from all the way these lines. So this covers everything. When you look at all these lines, so this is the boundary line of Kathmandu, like a Nepal Mandal at the time. So this boundary line we can identify when there is a Indra Jatra festival. During the Indra Jatra festival, the first day of Indra Jatra, the Yenya. So Yenya is the name of the Nepal Bhasha. Yenya, when the people who passed away during that year, so and then people go around with putting the small butter lamp in the floor, roadside. So that area is covered as a Upaku Wanigu. That's the Upaku Wanigu is a ceremony on the first day of Indra Jatra or the Yenya. So this boundary, inside this boundary, there are so many shrines and so many dedicated monasteries and everything is there. But outside is we can hardly find it. So the reason why it is difficult to find suspicious places outside that is because those area is covered as a like spiritually not clean area. So anything we need to throw away outside from the city area. So we used to go beyond that area. So I remember when Kantakar, one of the festivals. So we throw away all the evil spirits, and then we take to the riverside. So before the riverside, I mean, when riverside is covered, then it's a dark place. It's all the Dankini, all the evil spirits they live in that area. But inside is all spiritually, awaken the Devagana, all these things lives in it. So this is how the area is covered by the boundary, and from that, so these are the locations what I found in the almost like a 32 places. When you go around in the cities, every 32 places, location, locality, and all these things we find when you go around all of them. So in these 32 places, there are so many different pithas. So the pithas are surrounded by so one pitha to another pitha. There's especially now these days we know that's called the the lesser light, right? So when we say lesser light, it is visual. But at the time, we used to call the Tarana Tegu. Tarana Tegu means some kind of was unseen, like a dividing line from one to another one. So no one can come inside from the Tarani, the area. So, for example, to the clear one, so when you look at the Ramayana, I mean the Lakshman and then Sita, so Sita put this called the Lakshman Rekha. You may also find the word Lakshman Rekha. So once you cross the Lakshman Rekha and the Ravana was not able to, talk to her or any kind of, so that's how it was. Why don't you cross that line so that, I can receive the alarm from you. So Ravana asked Sita to go. So that kind of, Tarana or milk of the Lakshman Rekha is also, available in ancient time that not to come in any kind of an ill spirit inside the holy place. So that's what these are the 32 different, locations I have, came up with the idea to where they visit all. So these places are sometimes, it's like a cover by the buildings and also, but they have to go under the house and small lane and all these things. So nowadays it's totally different, but at the time it was very clearly a path for, going around everywhere. So now we talk about the Itumbaha area. So this is war number 24. Before it was 26, now it's 24 and then 28. So they are connected. So when I look at the Google map of the Itumbaha, this is what I found. It's already there. So, but on many of the names are already not in Newah language, but it is given in the Nepali language. So somehow it has been Nepalitized, or maybe cuss words are all given in that Google translation and Google map. So, but area given here is a red line. So this is when you look at the Itumbaha, so it automatically gives the red line, and this area is called Itumbaha. So right now is Kesha Chandra Baha. So this is the area that actually the Itumbaha is located. So here comes Itumbaha, but here comes Kesha Chandra Bahala. So these things are kind of like the whole area, and then cover up this whole area. So this is what we in Itumbaha area these days, given in Google Map. So it's the extended version of the same. So when you look at the Itumbaha in Google, so you will get this geographical location. So inside the Itumba, what I found actually this drawing I got from John K. Locke's The Monasteries of Kathmandu. So the whole area is this one is the open area, and the north side from here to entrance, and there's another entrance is from here, and we have another entrance from there are three entrances to come into come inside the Itumbaha area. So the component of this whole Itumbaha, this number 44 is the main shrine, and the next one is the Tara Nani, and then there's the Sasun Nani and also Bakku Nani. So these are the three locations. All these are kind of like a extended version of the Itumba. So probably these are established by some of the ancestors. So they were also part of the Itumba at the time. So this is the currently now we see that all new buildings were kind of erected. But these are it doesn't look like an ancient Newah town. So now because somehow construction is always there, like well having the old style kind of buildings and everything is not favorable at the time when. So that's how it was been extended to these buildings. So same way this doesn't look like some kind of traditional Baha or Bahi or any kind of it doesn't indicate that kind of thing. So when we look at this one, this is the main building of Itumbaha, the main shrine of Itumbaha. And in front there is a tree. This tree is believed to be the Bodhi tree. So somehow when this the Chaitya was built, and there's nobody knows how the tree kind of the tree was came out from the Chaitya, and then nobody wanted to cut down to save the Chaitya, but it just let it grow, and now how big the tree is a Bodhi tree Chaitya. So chopping off the Bodhi tree Chaitya is not a good idea. So that's why the people who kept the tree as it is, and now the damage for the Chaitya is going on. So it's kind of like in one way it is a Chaitya, no one can damage the Chaitya, and no one can wanted to chop off the tree. So it's kind of growing together. So Chaitya is still there, and then the tree is growing bigger and bigger. So somehow when you go over there, so I don't know exactly when this picture was taken, but I found in one of the YouTube, Facebook. One of the persons Facebook I found it. So maybe it's much more bigger than them. So the construction, because of the construction, and people wanted to show some modernization, and somehow there is kind of like a the structure of the old traditional value is kind of a damage these days. I can see that. So this is the kind of like a the tree. The tree is growing out from the chaite. So it's a unique. I have seen this kind of a combination of chaite and tree in 3, 4 different locations, not only here in Itumbaha, some other places also. And then suddenly, also there, this home belonged to one of my relatives. So my dad's, second uncle, actually the youngest uncle. And then this house is the Deogudia of Kathmandu, Itumbaha. So this Deogudia is when there was earthquake in 2015, so it was completely collapsed, and then we got some money from the metropolitan city, and then it was renovated and built very nicely later on. I will show some pictures of that. So now going into the main shrine, that's called Itumbaha. The name of this Baha is called also the Bhaskara Deva Sanskarita Kesha Chandra Mahabihar. That's the whole name, the full name of the Bihar. Itumbaha is a local name, but the Sanskrit name is Bhaskara Deva Sanskarita Kesha Chandra Krita Mahabihara. So what does it mean? So it was established, it was erected, it was started during the time of Bhaskara Deva. So Bhaskar Deva transcribed the Kesha Chandra. So Kesha Chandra is a person who donated the money, who donated the wealth, who donated the time and everything. So in his name, this Bihara was dedicated and it was built. So Bhaskar Deva Sanskarita Kesha Chandra Krita Paravarta Mahabihar. There's a word called the Paravarta. So Paravarta means the peasants. Peasants mean the bird pigeon. So there is a tradition or the guti in Itumbaha that we always feed the pigeons once a year with the paddy and all this things. So that we will see later on also. So Prajwal, are you ready to show a small video clip that we are talking about it in this time? So if you could show that clip, that would be great. It's just a 2 minutes video.
Okay.
Prajwal, are you ready? I
I'm
will.
not, yeah, I'm not ready. Hold on a second. I haven't look at that. So let's see.
So there's a clip I found in a Facebook. Some of the member from the Baha, he put the clip, the recent one. I found very interesting to show the whole area of the Baha, and then we will talk about more about that. So I need to stop sharing, right?
Yes.
Promise ji?
Okay. I need to.
So I'm going to stop and then to come back again.
Okay. Hold on a second. I'm going to share with this. So this
has a 1 hour and 30 minutes clip. So, but we can see the very last one. Little more, about 3 minutes.
2, 3 minutes. Okay. Everybody can see?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay.
The sound is not what happened. Okay, so this clip was recorded during one of the one whole month Gunlap festival. So, and the person who recorded this one is my the brother's son, so my nephew, and he was very kind for me to, hey, why don't you take a look my Facebook and you will have lots of information. So I kind of look at it, and then I watched the whole thing 1.5 hours, and then definitely a lot of interesting stuff. So now I'm going back to my own presentation. So this Itumba, as I mentioned earlier, the E and Tu and Baha, the Bhaskar Deva Sanskarita Kesha Chandrakrita Mahabhyar, that's a full name in Sanskrit. And definitely when something is established, there has to be a name mentioned about the king of that time. So if we name the Portland Bihara, there has to be somewhere to put the Sanskrit name. So definitely we will come up with some idea how to, give a Sanskrit, the full name for the Portland Bihara, Nitya Mandala Mahabhara. We have been saying that. So there has to be a person needs to be mentioned who dedicated, who did all the things. So that we'll talk about later. So now going inside this temple, what is happening? I cannot. Okay. So the priest definitely, I mean, every single person who is a member of the Baha has a turn to do this puja every week. So in 1 year, there are 52 weeks. So only 1 year, the 52 people from the Sangha is allowed to do this puja. So that means it's not easy to get the turn. It takes a long time. So right now, what I found, 550 were recorded in 2012, actually 2008. So in 2012, 56 people were also added, so almost like 600 people. So to get the turn for doing this puja, I mean, how many times? So 52 divided by 600 divided by 52. So how many years you get the turn? So that's how every single person who do the initiation, the Chura Karma, and then Parichwegu has the opportunity to do this puja. So sometimes people are not at in town or even outside of town or maybe outside some friend line. So definitely they cannot go do the puja. So it will given to the person who take care of most of the time. So this person is dedicated. So he gets some paid for the person who has a turn, and then that's how it's been going on for many years right now. So these are just the clip that all these things looks like a very new right now. So it's like a renovated after the earthquake, and then before the earthquake also there was some renovation got from the financial support from the different organization and also from the government and from the foreign aids. All these things happen. So the main shrine is very unique in compared to there are in 18 bahas in Kathmandu, Mahapiyar in Kathmandu. So this one is the unique one. This scenario, this front scenario, not unique to any other place. It's a different one. So inside the shrine, this is the Achobe Buddha, and it hardly can see the picture of this Achobe inside. So somehow one of the person who took a picture and put in the Facebook. So that's why I got that. So this is kind of a so the Kesha Chandra, who was the person who dedicated all his wealth to build that Bihar. So his statue, his replica, is displayed every year during the month of Gunla. So that means in July and August. So one of the a month in Nepal summer calendar, the ninth month of Gunla was not easy to take care of by the all gods and goddesses. So that's why it was dedicated to the Buddha. So that's why the Buddha, the people from Kathmandu, the Nepal Mandala, and they go to the temple in Swayambhunatha for the dedication and for the protection of the whole country as well also the family and also for the health and wealth and everything. So going to take a walk in the morning, so also good for the health. So these things always like became a medicinal way for take a tour of the the early morning for in the morning, and these people play that drums and everything. Every single bar have their own traditional drum playing setup is already there. So this is the Kesha Chandra, we call the Kesha Chandra Aju. So Aju, the full name is Kesava Chandra at the time, the well-known person at the time. So that's why he dedicated the Itumbaha. So these are some of the torrents are already damaged, and then it didn't come into the same like this one. This was really well carved stone, the wood carving. So because of the renovation, and probably these are kind of very expensive to carve, so they kind of put into the very simple, simple log to protect the roof. All these things happen. So inside, we only saw in a video that it is also Chaitya inside. So probably it's quite old, and there's inscription inside. So 500. When I was there at the time, about 30 years ago, the inscription says 550 Nepal Sambat, something like that. So I don't remember exactly the date at the time. So 50 years ago, this is how it was. So then now like this. So definitely there's a big changes, and then so see angle from the different angle. The first one is from the west to east, and this one is from the east to west. So it's the same temple. So now the temple is very much well constructed. So one of the interesting factor about the well that I mentioned, the Itumbaha, this well is a very well known for not only in Kathmandu and also in the Bungamati, where the Karunamaya, the Rato Machendranath. So the water, 3 vessels of water needs to be taken out from this well to do the bathing of the Rato Machendranath in Bungamati. So that means when the Bungamati, the Rato Machendra was brought to Nepal, Mandala at the time, by the King Narendra Deva at the time. So the well was still there. So that means all the holy wells in Nepal Mandala needs to get the water to give the bath to the Ratu Machendranath, the Karunamaya, the Padmapani Lokeswara. So that means Itumba is one probably the older than the Ratu Machendranath came to Kathmandu, in Nepal Mandala. So this is my kind of assumption that. So this is another, shrine, which is we call as a Debudia. This was also renovated. In recently, it was damaged by the earthquake, and then from the mayor's office, the funding from the mayor's office, it was renovated, and they recently just inaugurated for after the renovation. So, and now this turned into this way. So it's but somehow the door frame is not as it was, but this is a new one, and all of these are kind of like a redone. So it's a traditional way. So when you look at the new buildings, so it's definitely different than the new buildings. We can see that, and this person is the mayor of Kathmandu at this moment. So he kind of gave the Itumbaha to for the renovation support from the funding what he has at the office. So this picture is from the Chokondia, actually Singasartha Bao, and then somehow Itumbaha and this Singasartha Bao in a Tamil, the Bikramshila Mahabhyara, they are connected by the in-law relationship. So this statue belongs to Singasartha Bao or the Chokondia, and Chokondia is the let's see, how do I say that? The brother-in-law of the Kesachandra Aju. Kesachandra, who we saw that in a video. So Kesachandra and Chakandeva, they are the brother-in-laws. So Kesachandra's sister was married to Singasartha Bau. And then at the time, the Bikramshila Mahabhyara, one of the famous Bihar at the time when the Nalanda University was still exist in Nepal, in India. So the people from India, when they go to Tibet, so that's Bikramshila Mahabhyara is the halting place for going up to the mountain in them. So that is needs to be dig out more information regarding how Chakondia and Bikramshila Mahabhyara study needs to be done in a very academic way. So that has been, I haven't come up with any idea, any information regarding the Chakondia and Bikramshila Mahabhyara. So this is an area of, further investigation and further research. So in this picture, I got it from one of my friends, and then the middle one is the Chakreswara. Chakreswara is kind of is like out of the 11 Stabira, 11 monks, dedicated monks, and he's the most middle one. Middle one is the Chakreswari. Chakreswari means the person who do the all kinds of rituals and everything inside the temple. Not the one we saw earlier, but in another Agama. Agama is a sacred place where we do all kinds of sacred rituals. So, and it was empty for a long time, but just recently, so he was dedicated and or initiated as a Chakreswari of the Itumbaha Thaiba Samoa. The picture I come up just brought over here to show that the education was given from the mayor's office and it was renovated. So this was also the news came out regarding the Itumbaha dedicated for renovation. Another shrine when we saw that the earlier picture, the drawing of the, so this is another place. I think it's Sasunani. Sasunani, I believe. No, it's not a Sasunani. Sasunani, another section of Itumbaha. So Taranani is another place which the Lokeswara is given here. Tara is enshrined over there. But before it was not like this. So all these door frames, the frame of the iron bars were not there at the time when I was there. But now recently, for the protection, it's been renovated like this. And most of the activities are done. So this is organized for the IHI. So anyone who is more above 5 years or so, Ihi is one of the very famous rituals that is organized for the Newah children. And these days, even in Portland, also we have done so many Ihi activities in not only in Portland, also whole in America. There are many places in even in Promise also organized. I think it's what last year, right? So definitely, it was this kind of a ceremony is very much necessary for the children who has grown up, and then definitely go. Uh, Older, so this needs to be done called the ihi ceremony. Ihi means like a it's in regular language called a wedding. So waiting to the bear fruit. So it is the term is being used, but according to Brazil, so probably it has some significant meaning why we are doing this. So that we will talk about this kind of activities when we do about the his ceremony, talks. So the one we saw earlier with the iron bars, so that was the temple, the Tara temple, and it was renovated different way. And then there's another one on the south side. I believe it's on the south side. There's another temple also belong to the Itumbaha area. So definitely it was this was also renovated in a different and nicely one these days. These are some of the pictures I come up with from the John K. Locke's books, and the current one is much more much more nicer than now. It is at that time it was not renovated. Somehow this is how it was about 50 years ago. So in order to look at the activities, that's why I call the live heritage. So live heritage, most of the people they assemble here for doing the all kinds of so in a month of Gunla, so from July to August, July to a whole month, the people gather there and do the Tuta Nama Sangati chanting and also the Tuta Mopi and all kinds of so everything. So this is some kind of like a guti. The guti is a trust that according to the trust. So every single families they have to provide the whole month. Every single day they have to provide the ritual items and everything for the puja and everything. So this has been going on until now. So even I remember that when I was in Nepal. So I remember that taking the puja items for this for these activities when I was there at the time. So. Uh, well, actually, one of the activities was during Sakimela Puni. So the Sangha people come to the temple, come to Bihara, and then do the offerings of making like a figure of any auspicious symbol and anything. So and then do the Nama Sangati chanting. So it's still going on every year during the time of the Sakimela Puni. So and there's also the one we see in the wall. So this is the story of how the Itumbaha was built. So this scroll painting is no longer exhibited these days because of the security reasons. So somehow, when security is more protected, so then maybe we will ask them to display again and take a picture. Some of the I remember in Facebook sometimes about 10, 15 years ago, somebody took a picture of the whole script, whole scroll, and then it was posted in Facebook. Now I look at it, but I couldn't find it. So this scroll painting gives us a whole story of Itumba, how it was built and when it was built. All the things are given here. So in the bottom part of this one is an inscription written there, something about history of all this. So the old text is available, old language is available. So and then the Kumari needs to the Kumari home or the Kumari Ghar. Kumari needs to come to see the Kesha Chandra at the time. So definitely this is the time when Kumari come out from the residence. So in Itumbaha, so Kumari was brought to show the darsana of the Kesha Chandra and all these things. Same from the so activities it's been going on every year and then over almost like every full moon day. So still alive and still live going on all this thing. So definitely it's a Panchadana time. The Panchadana is the activities that most of the Newah Buddhist people do that all the time. So definitely, it's been going on in Nepal, in Itumbaha also. So, okay, let's see. So this one is the Tara Puja, and it's a like a huge number of people they come to participate in the Tara Puja. Definitely, it was because of the big area, because the big space. So a lot of people can join, and then that big area probably not available in any other Bihars except in a street. So that's why probably this kind of a puja is done over here. So the one choite, this is dedicated to my family. So I was there when we made this choite called in our family member. When my mom passed away, so in her name, so we constructed this choite over there. Okay, so this is the Chura Karma initiation or Bari Chuegu done from my family member. and all of them are now like married people. So definitely, so it was like 30 years ago. So after this, there was a two ceremony was already completed. It was one last one was done in 2012, and now it's due for another one. So probably in the next year, because already 10 years. So already 10 years, the next one is due anytime. So anyone who should not be reached the teenager before the teenager, it has to be done ceremony of this. Anyone who is born in the family of Itumbaha Sangha. So definitely needs to be registered in the Itumbaha Sangha, and then once it is being done, this kind of initiation like a Chura Karma, and he has a chance to go to inside the temple and do the daily ritual. It's called the Sangha Puja or Sangha. Will be registered as a Sangha in the church. So right now, I think if you remember anyone, this person in the front is Suba. I believe Suba is here or not. So definitely, and then he's my son. That's my son also. That's my brother's son. So the whole family, the whole picture belongs to our family Churakarma time at the time. So the next person picture, none of these are exist these days. It was taken from about like 10 years ago. So from this time, being a Churakarma and Sangha member, and then when they get age old, and definitely each one belong to each client. Each one belong to each client. They are not from the same client. So one client from A, one client from B, and one from same way. So it's professor is the person who is in the middle, and it's called the Bajracharya. So definitely, one Bajracharya, and there should be 11 members. 10 of them are like a stabira like this. We call in Nepal Bhasa, it's called the Thaipa, and the Thaipa came from the stabira. In Sanskrit, stabira is the renowned Stabira is like a monk. So according to the other Buddhist tradition, like in a monk. So it's a well known and also educated, and they need to perform the different kind of rituals. So every single day, if they and this is the place called Agama. Agama is not allow anyone who is not in the initiates like getting the diksha from the Brahmacharya. So these people can go in the agama and then do the rituals and which is necessary for all of them. So right now, what I heard is from only two tapas are exist these days. So only two of them because so many different reasons. So nobody came forward to take the initiation to become a tapa. So but we are trying to figure out whether the full form of 11 tapas will be installed again to continue the ritual activities in Itumbaha. This one family I found in the pictures as a whole family has extended children and grandchildren, and it's all 27 people in this family. So it's one family of Sakya, the Itumbaha. Itumbaha. Some of the young people, they are dedicated to carry on the activities. So it's like a modern way the people wanted to keep up the tradition like that. So I found this picture to show you as a change from the traditional way to the modern way. The picture I kind of put this together. I found this from there is a website. If you would like to get more information about Itumbaha, there's a Itumbaha Sudar Samiti where Facebook is still there. So have somebody open the Facebook, and in the Facebook that area, I found this picture, and then just took it out from there. So what is this means to the person? This is Guru Mappa. So the person or actually the Guru Mappa is the person by but demon kind of a person. So he has a cold heart and also the heavy heart. So both way it can be go that way. So here you say that Kesha Chandra took Guru Mappa to Tunikela and to hide him in a tree behind the leaves. The Guru Mappa sometimes went to the town and then took away the children. So this was a kind of a story that we can find it during the establishment of the Itumbaha. So how it was established and what happened, all these things. So right now, when you go to Kathmandu, you see the football field, the Tunikela. So Tunikela used to belong to Itumbaha. So Itumkela that become Tunikela. Itumkela become Tunikela. So now longer. So the feeding the rice to Guru Mappa is also working on these days. In the month of I think it was March during the month of Phagun Purnima. So the feeding the Guru Mapa, the duty of feeding the Guru Mapa is still going on at this moment. So that means, it has a link with the Guru Mapa and the Itumbaha and also the Tunikela. So these are kind of, interrelationship is still there. So that we need to dig out more and more information about them. I came up with a comic. It was based on the how the Itumbaha was established. So definitely, when you have a chance, so definitely you can find this comic, or maybe let me know. I will, send to you to your email address, and it will tell you the story how Itumbaha was established. So definitely, when Kesha Chandra became rich. He had a habit of gambling, but he lost everything. And when he was visiting his sister, so he was served in a gold plate, and then he stole the gold plate and put into gambling. So, but after the second time, the silver plate, the third time, and put into the floor. So he was fed in the floor, and he was very upset. So he put together all the food and went to Shilu Tirtha, like in the Namas. Chilutirtha, so Gosai Kunda, and then he was very upset. So he took a nap after displaying all the making the dry in the sunlight. So when he wake up, there was no food, but food was turned into a gold pieces. So all the food were eaten by pigeons. So that's why but the pigeons left some like a residue that was turned into gold. So this story is a legendary story, whether it is scientifically true or not. So definitely, this is how we can find it. And then out of that, becoming rich, so he established the Itumbaha. The story we find in a legendary story, we find all these things that looks like a very true, and somehow that's why that we feed the pigeons every year during the month of Gula, adding the when in a video also we saw that paddy was fed to the pigeons, so that's why it has been related with it. So Guru Mapa was, the person who is on the top is the Guru Mapa, Kesha Chandra, and Guru Mapa carrying the gold because he could not carry by himself. It was very heavy load. So the Guru Mapa, he kind of get relationship with the, Guru Mapa as a demon, and then asked him, okay, you are my uncle, why didn't you help me? Blah blah. So all these things happen, and then somehow, he helped him to carry the gold, and then he became rich and established Kesha Chandra, Mahabhyara. So that's how the and then there's also a story which we saw in the scroll painting that he was promised. The Guru Mapa was promised to give you a child who is in trouble. So maybe when the people say, "Hey, keep quiet, otherwise the Guru Mapa will come to eat you." So when the Guru Mapa heard that kind of a sound, so Guru Mapa used to take away the children. That was the story also we find in a we find in so since I was asked to just keep it on 1 hour, so I still have a 5 minutes, so maybe I will keep the 5 minutes for you to have any kind of a questions. So this is my short presentation. Definitely I have so many things to talk about it, but for now, right now, I just end here, and then here is a small gift for you to take with you for my presentation. This is made by one of the person in Itumbaha area. So some of the most of the scholars, most of the people in Itumbaha, they do the sculptor, making a sculpture and all these kind of antique items. So you can download this picture and keep as a gift from me. So here I end. If you have any questions, definitely, it's very short, but it's not complete. But definitely, when I have a chance to do another time, I will have a more elaborated version of all the stories, how the Itumbaha is established out of 18 Bahas in Kathmandu. So one of them is Itumba. Definitely, the Itumba also has a connection with the Sameka festival. So Sameka festival happens in every 12 years, so including with the one from Lagan Baha and also from Otu Baha. So combined together, so Sameka festival took place. So I think the Sameka festival is also about to due to next in a couple of years. So that I'm not quite sure yet. So when it was happening last time. So in the Summit Festival, the king also has to be, royal families also has to be attend over there. So that's how it was very auspicious for all the people who do the, Buddhist tradition. In a Newah Buddhist tradition, Samak is one of the most elaborate and significant tradition compared to the other religions in other part of the world. And this is how I end promise you. So I will stop sharing, and if there's any questions, so I will take some questions. Thank you very much for everybody listening to me. Definitely, I went so fast. So, but if I missed anything, if you don't understand anything, please forgive me. But I also have another session lined up for me to speak for the Newah translation, Google translation. We are doing the Google translation for the Newah language. So it's another project I'm involved with. They are waiting for me to go over there and then do my another presentation for them to talk about it. Thank you very much. Fukasiton, Josulapa. Let's go to session for Q&A.
Thank you so much, Daya. So out of 18 major Baha, so today, yes, he has some talk on the Itumbaha. So I would like to, yes, open the floor. So if anybody has any question for him, we can put it. And maybe Prajolju can help me on this.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, this is the very important topic. As I say, the heritage is like a, every Bihar, like the how the is mentioned all about the rituals, and maybe we can just make it the one rituals to talk about only for hours or 2 hours, just only for rituals. This will be really, really important. But I want to ask you the Dayadai, do you hear about that the Itumba was being burned with all the altars in the Thakur Raj bones, Thakur, what's called that? Thakur Raj's spirit. That was like the completely burnout, and then they collected whatever the goal is there, then rebuild it, that part in Itumbaha. And also the Palpa king, they also say that in history, Palpa kings, they used to come and attack or try to destroy, but they couldn't do it somehow.
Yes, I heard that story about that, but there is no written document regarding that. So Mukunda Sen from the Palpa region. So Mukunda Sen, Palpa region used to be the area of the Magar people. So Magar clan. So Mukunda Sen came and then burned down everything and looted all the golds and everything that we have learned. When it happened, the Kesha Chandra was escaped from that looting, and then there's also in one of the place nearby that the shrine. There's a place that Kesha Chandra was hidden on that area, and nobody could find him. So everybody is gone, and then he went to somewhere other places. So that's why we still believe that that particular dig out area, the square dig out area is still there. So the Tandra, the case of Tandra, the person who built the Itumbaha, that place is still there, and we always do some kind of a ritual. So we haven't covered that up area because we believe that Kesha Chandra went down from that place to get into another area of us. It is true that, but we don't have any, documental proof that somehow in the scroll painting, I think it is also mentioned in the scroll painting, but other than that, I haven't found anything yet. So it's a time for us to dig out maybe some.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, definitely, it was true story. I also heard about it. Yes.
Yeah. Good. So anybody have any questions? So as you know, in the Kathmandu Valley, they have a 500 bihara. Among that, the 500 more than 500 biharas, but 18 bihara is the main bihara where you can get a highly initiated. You can be a master. So that's the place. And also I'm also belong to one of the bihara. Maybe someday I can talk about my bihara too. So people should know about my bihara too. So, but it is, that is the Buddhist council, that is the Buddhist activity, that is the Buddhist to become a Buddhist. That is the whole area in in Nepal. So yeah, anybody have any questions, please? Sounds like it. Everybody's so quiet. So okay.
Um,
This-
I was just, thank you very much, Daya. That was just really interesting, your presentation. I had not heard about that painting, but it looks very interesting. We should have a chance to see that sometime, I hope. And I
I still remember. I still remember. I saw that whole clip in the YouTube, but who
really,
put it and when it was, but I could not figure. I searched and searched and searched. So,
uh-huh.
but it's not. I couldn't find it. So I think it's there somewhere. So maybe one of the technician, like IT technician, can figure out, where it is located. So definitely.
Mm,
But no longer displayed these days because of and it may get damaged by the environment, or maybe
right.
it's a protection for the protection. So someday we will make,
The other
available.
thing that struck me about your photos there and everything was that it's such a large area, a
Yes.
really huge courtyard. And it was nice to see the huge vrata being done there, the Aryatara vrata.
Yeah.
And so many people participating. Was that in 2018? Did I see?
I do not recall
Yeah,
when it
yeah,
was associated.
yeah.
I think
Just recently, also the mayor was there. That was
Uh-huh.
very recently. So it's
Yeah.
about 2 years before. Yeah.
But I wonder whether because of the size, well, or maybe because it was an important location, they made it larger. But it seems like some very important rituals happen there, and that the size may have something to do with that. The
Yeah,
size of the courtyard.
there's no Bihar in Kathmandu. That big area can be occupied because
Yeah.
Itumbaha is also known for the political assembly.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of political meetings took place over there, and then that area you can cover up from north to south. The whole area can be covered using as a political platform for addressing the. So that's why it's very unique place, the Itumbaha.
It really
So
is. Thank you.
if you are not familiar with Itumbaha, now you know that Itumbaha is a place where you can find all the live activities you can see over there during the month of Gola. You will see that definitely a lot of things you can see over there.
Yeah, that's also the other part of the Itumba. It's a very unique because you don't see any white taras and green taras temples in itself. So only the Itumba have it. Whole entire Nepal, you don't see that the white tara and green tara temples like the built literally for just for the white tara and green tara, but only that Itumba. So that's also the other unique part. That's why the people are, those days the Brata is being getting bigger and bigger. People want in the spirituality, it is so much big. Like last time I was there a couple of years before, they about Bosundara Brata. It's 900, over 900 peoples are gatherers, and then they do the Bosundara Puja. I was like a surprise, and people are really dedicated. So they do.
Parmesh just mentioned that he found a YouTube. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I
Please.
was just searching, right? When the Linda says that, then I also thought that when I was a kid, I had the opportunity to see those things. So I just went ahead and in YouTube, I just found it. I have put in the link here, and I will be just publishing this link in the Facebook Live as well. Prajalju, back to you.
Yes.
Yes.
So thank you very much. So sounds like don't have that much questions because it's also it's so much things there. So it is moving on. This is like a tantric practice and tantric liberations. Those Bihara is to be. So yeah.
I had
So
one other question.
yeah, go ahead.
Where was the source about the Mukunda Sen? Because that's something of interest to me. I did a study in Bandipur Bazaar, where the Newah community west of Kathmandu near Dumre. They have a history of about Mukunda Sen, and he eventually became a Siddhi in Naranga. He was defeated.
So the only document I found is only scroll the paintings. So Mukunda Sen came and then put the Bihara into fire and took lots of jewels and jewelry. So that's what is mentioned. But when you did the study in the Bandipur area, so at that time probably the Bandipur, I also visited Bandipur almost like 5 times, and I saw that over there there's a shrine of I think a Ganesha shrine. So that Ganesha shrine was established 156 years ago when I was visited at the time 25 years ago. Now almost like 180 years ago. So before that there was no settlement of the Newar people. So maybe we're talking about more than 500 years ago. And then at the time the Mukunda Sen was the well-known person from that area. So maybe he was trying to invade neighboring not a country actually neighboring areas and then came down to before the Saha, but before the Prithviraj Saha. So probably that's what happened.
Mhm.
So I kind of I don't have any the inscription or any the colophons or anything that I couldn't find it. But I did mention remember that people were saying that Mukunda Sen came to damage the Itumbaha at the time. So that's what I heard one.
Interesting.
When you do the next trip to Kathmandu, and this is like a recipe for you to do some digging. So to go to visit the Itumbaha, definitely you will find lots of. Actually, there are three agam that I cannot talk about here, but there are three agam. The agam in the north side, the agam in the south side, and agam in the west side. So east is the door. So there are three different agam there. So those agams are only available to visit there inside. So when we become a sangha member, so we can go and take a look, darsana of the agam inside. So and then there are many gutis that I did not mention. That the gutis, what I have listed, there are. It's like a Sona Guti for the funeral activities, Si Guti for the funeral activities, Solampa Guti for the month of Gunla, Gurumapa Zanaki Guti, so feeding the Gurumapa Guti in the full moon of in March, and also Tuto Guti, the recitation of Namasangati Guti, and also Swansa Guti, and Saraswati Guti, and Samek Guti, and Degu Puja Guti, and Bazang Guti. All these goodies are still kind of moving along. So all these goodies are running in current time also. But somehow in like a very difficult situation from the financial point of view because most of the goodie lands are undertaken by the government and used for something else. So there is no financial resources. So I'm trying to figure out how we can help for the Itumbaha people to come up with some sources of just providing a donation or maybe some project that we can do all together. So because from this presentation, I believe that people from around the world are watching, and then maybe I can make a connection with all the people who are living outside, the people from Itumbaha, so living outside. Maybe we can come together and come up with a project to support the Itumbaha for restoration project or restoration of goodies and everything. This is my goal for the next time. Thank you, Brazil Promise. I think I try to cover up as much as I can in a very short. So definitely there's an elaborated version. It will have a more elaborated information on this.
Great.
I like to name all the people who came here: Yamuna Yogini, Jesse Gabriel, Linda, Dina Shakya, Tina Ho, Gyanendra Bajracharya, Lesson Baker, Home Shrestha, Miranda Shaw, and Chin Chin, and Mary Lau. Thank you for joining me and then listening to my what I have studied. So this is only from within the 10 months, 10 days, collection of all the materials. So when I have a chance, I will definitely elaborate more and more. So, but professionally, I'm a linguist, so I do the teaching of languages as Brazil and the Promise mentioned. But this is also a part of my interest, so that's why I'm doing this. So thank you very much. Any kind of information, so please let's keep in touch, and then I will be happy to answer anything you have in your time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Yes.
Okay, namaste, and then bye.
Okay.
See you again next month. What is the next month, Promise
Next
ji?
month will be the Linda will be giving us
Oh, Linda, I'll be happy.
yeah Zalupyahan. So please please join us, and then next will be the Miranda will be giving us a talk on Acharya.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Let's see.
whatever just come up with some
So
presentations.
we can
Definitely.
stop for the sharings. I'm going to stop for the recording. Also, we can be just for normal. So That's I'm going to do right now.
Okay, I'm going to take off, and then I have to join the another Zoom meeting presentation. So definitely, thank you so much for coming, and then joining me. Definitely, it's a success. It's coming up more and more. Getting popular of this once a month on the Newah Heritage. Thank you.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Great.
So
Now,
on behalf of All Newah Organizing USA chapter, I really thank Daya Shakya, today's presenter. And we will be ending the Facebook Live right now, but unofficially, yes, we will be on the Zoom. Do you want to add anything, Prozolzo?
yeah, this is will be great. I mean, uh, for me, it's like as we talk about a lot about the heritage in Nepal, it is just amazing. It's beyond than we can think. So that's why we try to preserve this, heritage by the Zoom right now, and bringing the different scholars and different friends and families, whoever want to present. So it will be good to have some documentations to keep continuous and have it that way. People in the future, somebody want to study a little more, so they can get a more educated from this whatever that we're doing virtual communication with this. So we'd like to thank you for all the participating, and also thank you for promising to give a floor with making this happen. And also thank you for Daya Dai. That's a good, wonderful presentation. So that I can say, yeah.